Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some major TV news that has fans buzzing and binge watchers feeling a little heartbroken. Netflix has officially pulled the plug on The Waterfront. It's gritty crime drama that had only just begun to reel in audiences worldwide. The series, which debuted in June, quickly climbed Netflix's global top 10 charts, pulling comparisons to hits like Yellowstone. But despite all that momentum, it won't be coming back for a second season. So what happened? And what did creator Kevin Williamson reveal about his original Season 2 plans? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down in detail. For those who might not be familiar, The Waterfront tells the story of the Buckley family, who live in a small coastal town in North Carolina. At first glance, they seem like your average hard-working fishing family, but beneath the surface, secrets and shady dealings bubble up after Harlan Buckley, played by Holt McCallany, suffers not one, but two heart attacks. His wife Belle, portrayed by Maria Bello, and his son Cane, played by Jake Weary, are forced to make desperate choices to keep their business afloat. That includes getting tangled up with an underground drug cartel. Needless to say, things spiral into danger, betrayal, and plenty of family drama. When Season 1 dropped on June 19th, the response was huge. Viewers praised the series for its suspenseful storytelling, sharp performances, and high production value. It quickly dominated Netflix's top 10 until it was overtaken by the Korean juggernaut Squid Game. Critics and audiences alike drew comparisons to Yellowstone, pointing out the shared themes of family loyalty, power struggles, and a rural setting hiding dark secrets. Many even speculated that Netflix could be building its own Southern crime empire franchise with The Waterfront at the center. But that dream came crashing down just 2 months later. On August 25th, multiple outlets confirmed the cancellation of The Waterfront. Fans were stunned. How could a show that was so clearly resonating with audiences be scrapped so quickly? Netflix didn't give a clear explanation, but insiders suggest cost may have been the deciding factor. Big ensemble casts, on-location shooting in North Carolina, and action-packed sequences don't come cheap. Even with strong viewership, Netflix has become known for making tough calls when it comes to balancing budgets with long-term strategy. Unfortunately, The Waterfront became another casualty of that balancing act. Creator Kevin Williamson, who's known for hits like Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries, didn't stay quiet after the news broke. In interviews, he shared that he still had big plans for the Buckley family story. He revealed that the relationship between Harlan and Cane, the father-son duo at the center of the drama, was only just getting started. Williamson said they hadn't yet reached the core answer of who they are to each other. Season 2, according to him, would have shown more stumbles, more conflict, and eventually more healing between the two. Sadly, fans won't get to see that evolution on screen. Another major thread involved Belle, the matriarch played by Maria Bello. Williamson described her as someone who's always been pulling strings behind the scenes, letting her husband Harlan appear as the face of the family while she maneuvered from the shadows. By the end of Season 1, Belle had stepped into a much more powerful position. Williamson hinted that Season 2 would have seen her pushing Harlan aside entirely, taking control of the Buckley empire, and even building new alliances with more dangerous crime families. In other words, Belle was about to become the true force to be reckoned with. Let's rewind for a moment and talk about how Season 1 wrapped up. The finale was packed with twists. We saw Bree, played by Melissa Benoist, shot by Drode Grady, portrayed by Topher Grace, and tossed overboard. But in a dramatic turn, Harlan and Cane rescued her, striking back at Grady and leaving him at the bottom of the ocean. Just when things seemed to calm down, Belle made her shocking move, meeting with Emmett Parker, a powerful crime figure, and seemingly agreeing to partner with him behind Harlan's back. It was a perfect setup for another explosive season. But now, it's the end of the road. Williamson has been gracious in his response to the cancellation, even if he's disappointed. On social media, he posted a heartfelt message thanking the cast, crew, and Netflix for taking a chance on what he called a very personal story. He described working on the series as one of the best experiences of his career and said his heart was full of gratitude. It's clear this project meant a lot to him. And for fans, his openness about what could have been in Season 2 gives at least a little bit of closure, even if it's bittersweet. Now here's where the conversation gets interesting. Netflix has become infamous for canceling shows after just 1 or 2 seasons, even when they seem to be doing well. The streamer is notoriously secretive about viewership numbers, so we often don't know the full picture. It's possible that while The Waterfront had a strong start, engagement may have dipped in later weeks, or, as some analysts speculate, the rising cost of licensing and production in North Carolina simply made continuing too expensive. Either way, the decision reflects a broader trend. Netflix is quick to cut even promising shows if the math doesn't add up. Fans, of course, are not happy. On Twitter, Reddit, and other platforms, people have been venting frustration about how Netflix tends to cancel shows just as they're getting good. Many viewers said they were invested in the Buckley family's story and felt robbed of the chance to see Belle's rise or Harlan and Cane's reconciliation play out. Some have even called for another network or streamer, maybe Peacock, Paramount Plus, or even Amazon Prime, to pick up the series. So far, there's been no word on that. But in today's streaming landscape, it's not completely impossible. Looking at the bigger picture, The Waterfront was Netflix's attempt to tap into the popularity of modern Western and rural crime dramas. Yellowstone has become a cultural juggernaut for Paramount, spawning multiple spin-offs and attracting millions of viewers. Shows like Ozark also proved there's an appetite for stories about families juggling criminal enterprises with small-town life. The Waterfront had all the right ingredients: a talented cast, a dramatic setting, and plenty of family tension. For a brief moment, it seemed like Netflix had found its answer to Sheridan's empire. But that momentum has now been cut short. One thing that's worth noting is just how quickly the decision came. The series had only been streaming for a little over 2 months before Netflix canceled it. That's a much shorter window than many shows usually get. Typically, Netflix evaluates a show's performance over 28 days, then again at 60 and 90 days before making a call. The fact that The Waterfront was canceled right after its 2-month mark suggests that something behind the scenes sealed its fate. Whether it was budgets, contracts, or shifting priorities, it was clearly a fast decision. So, where does this leave fans? The good news is that Season 1 is still available to watch on Netflix. Even though there won't be more episodes, the first season tells a complete arc with plenty of payoff. You still get suspense, betrayal, shocking twists, and the kind of high-stakes storytelling that Kevin Williamson is famous for. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, it's absolutely worth a binge. And for those who already have, revisiting Season 1 might help appreciate the layers that Williamson and the cast built, even if the story won't continue. Another silver lining. Williamson's track record suggests he'll be back with another compelling project soon. Over the years, he's given us some of the most iconic teen dramas and thrillers on TV. While The Waterfront may have ended too soon, it showed that he still knows how to craft addictive, character-driven storytelling. So while this cancellation stings, it's likely not the last we'll see of his work in the streaming world. Fans who enjoyed The Waterfront should definitely keep an eye on what he does next. At the end of the day, The Waterfront is a reminder of how unpredictable the streaming era can be. A show can dominate the charts 1 month and be canceled the next. For now, the Buckley's story ends with Belle making her bold move, and the family still fractured but fighting to survive. It's not the closure fans wanted, but it's the ending we have. So what do you think? Should another platform step in and save The Waterfront?